and I'll never say that again in my whole life.
I literally just hit record. Can you say it again?
Yeah. So I got a long drink peach and a peach party, and I just asked my mom for some peaches yesterday when she had just gotten home from the store. So I'm a happy peachy guy, and you're laughing at me, and I don't care for it.
All right. What a great way to start our new episode series.
Oh, we
We're
started. Oh, great,
yeah,
cool,
yeah. Oh, I got
perfect,
you. I got you.
very nice.
Um, we are still workshopping a title for this. We're currently going with 60 minutes with the boys.
Yep, we're
So
the boys.
we're the boys.
That's
You're
Johnny Shweegs.
and that's your boss with the sauce, Nathan Doss. This is BYO Beats podcast. Um, yeah, normally we do a beer and a song, and we interview guests and all of that stuff, and there's a lot of structure. But we found that we like to go on lots of tangents and discuss things like current events and Sporticus and other forms of media like television and movies,
Yeah,
the
but we
occasional
also
video
don't.
game.
Yeah, yeah. We just also know that's not why you listen to our show necessarily. But I mean,
Necessarily, yeah. But I mean,
but we
it's
also,
still fun to talk about,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's enjoyable to listen to. We hope.
yes, we definitely
So
do
I
hope.
mean, yeah, this is we're trying it, and if it stinks, then it stinks, and we'll stop doing it. But
Yeah.
we had to give it the old college try. So here it is, 60 minutes with the boys. A
How you doing,
workshop.
John?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. We can talk about life stuff.
Yeah, let's update the people. You just moved
I just moved.
from
I moved from
Illinois to
Chicago
Wyoming,
to Wyoming. Yep. I'm here in the
and
biggest city in Wyoming, Cheyenne,
yes, which
booming
is
metropolis.
what like a twelfth the size of Chicago, maybe.
That's math that I don't care to do right now, but
Fair.
I went from a multi-million metropolitan area to I think around 60,000. So
60,000. Real, I didn't think it was that small.
and that's the biggest one in Wyoming.
Yep, yep.
So
Jeez.
it's I'm loving it. It's great to be so close to the outdoors, to the mountains.
Yeah, I've been seeing your pictures of going on hikes and stuff. That
Yeah.
looks amazing.
Yeah,
Like I've
I'm
been
terrible
to
at taking
mountains once.
pictures, but my wife is not. So
Yes, yeah.
she posts those pictures. If you follow me on Instagram at jschweigel46, you'll see me getting tagged in those. I'm really bad at posting on Instagram. Like we were just discussing this a little bit earlier.
Oh yeah.
My last post this today is it's mid August of 2024. My last post was 6 months ago in February. Doss, when was your last post?
What almost exactly 2 years ago. And it was literally about this show starting up. It's just a picture of the old logo.
Oh, even better, even better.
Yeah. And I
Uh,
also recently have been getting like 12 bots a day liking that picture. So it's up to like 30 something likes instead of the 12 that it had at first. But
pretty good,
yeah,
pretty good.
pretty good. Yep. Good thing we got those bots on Instagram. All good. Yep.
Yeah.
It's all
Also,
like the same picture of the girl that
oh,
you
it
don't know.
was
But like,
obviously pulled from Google Images too.
right. Yeah. It's great. Technology is great, especially when it works correctly.
Oh yeah.
Um,
We are doing video now. That's new
yeah.
for
Hi.
season
Nice to
three.
see you.
Good to see you guys. I probably
We're
should
gonna
have
have
put a
to.
better shirt on because this I didn't realize, but there's like a grease stain on my shirt. Look at that. You see that like
Yep.
right in the
Sure
middle?
it is.
Oh,
Sure
oh.
is. Yep.
I mean, it's a black shirt, so it's really hard to tell. But I've got the natural light going, and
Yeah.
ooh, bad look.
It's
Unfortunate.
all good though. I mean, yeah. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's a Sox shirt. Yo, we
Yes.
should talk baseball real quick
Yeah. Let's talk
because
baseball.
baseball is getting weird,
The White
man. Like,
Sox have been mathematically eliminated.
oh, already?
I'm surprised it took this long, to be honest.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
have a 21 game losing streak and a 17 game losing streak in the same season.
Ah, I didn't
Yeah,
know it was that bad.
yeah, it's been bad. It's been bad, but I've been there every step of the way.
mm. How's
The
the Cubbies doing, or do you know?
Cubs have been mid.
Okay.
They've been better than us, but from what I understand, their fan base is not happy.
Well, they've won a. I almost said they won a Super Bowl in the last couple of years. No, they've won. They've won the World Series.
Yeah, what was that? 2016.
Maybe. I got
Already.
that's
That's
almost
already.
8 years ago, though.
Yeah, that's 8 years ago. Are you kidding me? I feel like it was just yesterday.
Me too. Me too. But I mean, I also think that about 2016. So
I
that checked
I
out.
also feel that way about 2005. So
Oh, I don't. I
that's
don't
well,
feel that.
that was a White Sox joke.
Oh,
White Sox
did they
won the
win
World
the
Series in
series?
'05. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The Tigers went in 2004 and got beat by the Cardinals, and then they went somewhere in the 2010s and got swept by the Giants. And uh, yeah, they're not good still.
But they've
They're
been doing better this year.
they might be breaking even, which means what, they get to the first round of the playoffs and
If
definitely
that.
lose.
Well, it's tough because the AL Central has actually been decent this year outside of
Right.
the White Sox. Maybe it's because they get to beat up on the White Sox so much.
It doesn't
That
hurt.
doesn't hurt. Yeah,
Not at
but
all. Who's in that again?
yeah,
Guardians.
Cleveland I think is still in first. Last I saw.
Yeah,
Um,
they're
then
good, man. They just are.
and that was crazy too because they had all those they had like two key injuries right at the start of the year.
Yeah,
Their ace went down. Bieber had to get
yeah,
Tommy John.
yeah.
Like
Yep.
holy smokes, that's no good to have your ace go down in your first week of the season. I know Quan missed a lot of time, uh, but yeah, they got a good thing going in Cleveland, which makes me mad. But as a division
Yeah.
rival, it makes me mad. But
Mm, it's all right. They have a mad fan base because they had to change their name, so at
yeah,
least they get to have a good team.
definitely. This might be a hot take, but I think that's a downgrade, really.
The name?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that wasn't the point, though.
Yeah.
The point was to offend less people, and I mean, the Guardians, I suppose, does offend
Yeah.
less people.
I
But
just
I mean,
I think they should have gone with the spiders. I think that would have been way better. To go back to the roots of the franchise.
oh, I didn't know that was the name before.
Yeah, no, that was like the original name. I don't know if it was I think it was I mean cuz they go through so many changes like they move locations and stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, no, there was a Cleveland Spiders and the logo was sick and this is from like the 1900s.
Okay.
But like it would have been so sweet, I think. And they went with Guardians.
Well, I mean, it's only been what, 3, 4 years
I
since that
think
change.
so. It was what 2000. It was right around COVID when it happened, right?
Yeah, yeah. Might have been during. I don't know, but you never know. It might change again.
It might. Yeah,
They
who
might
knows?
listen to their fan base, and the fan base is like, "Hey, Guardians doesn't mean anything to me." And they'll be
Well,
like,
it's
"Well,
it's funny because
what
it's
else?"
referencing. There's this bridge in Cleveland that has these
Okay.
two giant stone statues that are called the Guardians of Traffic, and that's what they're named after.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, that's why it's so bad. My favorite thing is I remember there was a post when they were first making the name announcement, and one of the highest rated comments was someone who was like, "My buddy got a DUI on that bridge." So there's like the guardians of the DUIs. So that made me laugh and made a lot of other people laugh.
Jeez, aren't the Lugnuts their farm team, or is it somewhere
No,
else?
they're the farm team for the Blue Jays
Blue Jays? Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, the Lugnuts are a minor league team in
in Lansing.
Lansing that I don't know. I went a couple times. Did you
Oh
go
yeah,
while we
I
were up
went
there?
probably 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, yeah. The
I got
stadiums
to
in
watch
downtown.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette. I got to watch them play in Lansing like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and now
Yeah,
they're both all stars, and Vladdy Jr. got MLB The Show cover. It's like I
really.
got to
I
see
didn't know that.
I got to watch him and minor leagues, Lansing, Michigan.
Wow. Yeah, you never know who you're going to see. I think that's why people go. It's also just nice because there's not that much in Lansing other than Michigan State and the
The Capitol
very
building, I guess.
minimal capital. Yeah, like it's a nice city to me, but that's because I was at Michigan State the whole time. And
Yeah, East
yeah,
Lansing is great.
yeah, but yeah, I have a lot of family that lives in the area, and they live in nice places. But anyway, it's interesting that they picked the Guardians, and there's the lug nuts. There's just lots of things for logos that would work super well. Because like you said, the spiders. I'm sure it was a super cool logo, and you can do a lot with merch and stuff with that.
Hmm.
But I think people are like, well, why do we want a bug? Like that's
Well, and like a
bugs aren't
spider
great,
too.
but
A spider is one of the more badass bugs.
that's true.
Think about how many people are scared of spiders. I was deathly afraid of spiders for a very long time. I've
Mm,
since gotten over it mostly.
okay,
Uh,
I was. I remember when I was a kid. I probably like 8 to 10 years old. I was in the back seat of my dad's car, and I just started laughing because I felt something tickling my leg, and I was just like, "Huh." I guess you're a kid. You don't know really what's going on with your body, so like you just start laughing, and I kept laughing. My dad's like, "What's going on back there?" And I was like, "I don't know." Then I look down and I see a big ass spider sitting on my lap. And I scream my head off, and he pulls the car over,
oh no!
and he's like, "What the hell's going on?" And I'm like, "There's a spider!" I jumped out of the car. I'm like stomping on it, and he's just like, "Okay, you can't do that." And I was like, I know. It just scared me." And she's like, "Okay, that's fine that it scared you. You can't do that."
Yeah, growing up in Boy Scouts, when we went to summer camp, and usually they would have like these platform tents. So it's built. It's like a canvas tent. If you think like picture in your head like an army tent, you know how it's kind of
Okay.
like it's canvas and it's got like four walls and the pointed top.
Yeah.
So we would stay on those, built on like a wooden platform, and they would provide a cot for you. So then what you would have to do is because it doesn't have any zippers or anything, it's not sealed. Uh, what we would do is we would bring like four dowel rods or like 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch like square posts,
Okay.
and you bring a mosquito net and you put the mosquito net over your cot and your sleeping bag. So that way when you're sleeping, you're not getting eaten up by mosquitoes, which is great.
Right.
What's not great is how you leave for the day and you come back to your tent and it's like 9, 10 o'clock at night, pitch black. You shine your flashlight in there, and all the spiders that are on your mosquito net cast these gigantic shadows, and it scares the living crap out of you when you're 10, 11 years old.
Right.
Because you're away from home, you're out in the woods, you know, there's a lot of fun things happening, but there's also, that kind of uncertainty, that homesickness, especially if you're like at summer camps a week long, right? So maybe you drove 4 or 5 hours away from home. Maybe it's your first time away from home, and you got to remember you're an actual child. like,
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough to visualize when you're our age. I feel like,
right. Well, I mean, it's easy for me because I lived it, but
well, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that I remember more than once having to call one of the scout leaders over to clear the spiders off of my thing because I was too scared to go into my tent.
Mm.
But yeah, mostly good times.
Can you believe that my first time tent camping was like 2 years ago?
It did come as a shock to me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. It's not that I ever thought like I don't want to do that. Uh, it was mostly my mom's thing. I think she's not a big camper. She was forced to camp as a kid and hated it every time,
Mm.
and that's partially because of how my grandmother ran the campsite. It was just not great. It was through anger. Like putting up the tent was always an anxiety-filled time.
Yeah.
And my mom's just an anxiety-filled person at this point, so it checks out. But uh, yeah, camping was never our family thing, and I didn't do Boy Scouts, and I don't really have a reason for it. It just wasn't something that my
Mm-hmm.
family did. So I always did respect people that did it because, especially if you're because you're an Eagle Scout, I know, right?
Yep.
There's so much work involved. There's so much to consider, so much that's good for the earth, so much
Mm-hmm.
that's good for you as a person. Like, if you listen to the show a lot, you know that Johnny is generally louder than I am, and that is mildly attributed to the Boy Scouts.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, because I did a lot of like leadership stuff, and whether it was, I mean, I think inherently there's people who are natural leaders and people who are not like natural leaders. I think
Yeah.
anyone can lead in any situation. I don't
Hmm.
think that you have to be a natural, you know, headstrong, confident, albeit stubborn person to be a leader. I think those
Sure.
people find themselves more often than not in leadership roles. Um, and I think I've always been one of those more leadership mindseted persons.
Hmm.
That was not good English. We're gonna keep it moving.
That's all right.
But I mean, like you said, you know, in Boy Scouts, there's lots of opportunities for you to kind of dial in that leadership. And I went to, it was this camp. I don't know if they still do it. They probably do through the Boy Scouts called National Youth Leadership Training. So you'd go. It was like summer camp, except it instead of like doing random activities, everything was leadership oriented. So you learn about all these different like social interactions. You learn about team building. You learn about conflict resolution. You learn about like all these different problem solving things. And then not only did I go to that, I then applied and accepted a role as a staff on that. So then not only did I do it, I also taught it, and that taught me a lot of things. In public speaking and teaching are such a huge important part. Just being confident in yourself and being able to convey a message.
For sure. I wish that I had done something along those lines. The closest I think I had was a debate class in high school. It was supposed to be taken in conjunction with a speech class,
Mm.
like the science of giving a speech, being able to be good with your words and continue to be assertive. Excuse me, I'm
Drinking his peaches. He's a
drinking a
peachy boy.
big peach boy. Um, we'll get to those in a couple minutes here, but
Yeah.
yeah, I always was a leader, especially in like the band room, but it wasn't in a way that I felt like a leader really.
Mm.
Like it would be I play my ass off and be the example.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much it though. And that's not a bad way to lead. It's just
It's
not
a
necessarily the
hugely.
most
I was
it's
gonna
not
say
always
it's.
effective.
Yeah, it is hugely important
Right.
because I think to be a leader, you either need to be the best at doing what you're doing or the best at helping people get there.
Right.
So like we'll take me in marching band. I was not the most talented musician, but I think I was one of the most talented at getting people there and using my resources. So like if
Yeah.
I didn't know how to play something, I would say, "Doss, play this for us." And
Right.
then I can say, "Okay, did you hear what he did?" And I can identify the things that you need to do. And I can do my best to do them and I practice, and that was the thing is especially with getting into marching band is I don't think I was ever the most talented musician, but I was always one who worked hard. And
Yeah.
that's just something about me. Like even in men's league hockey, which is no stakes whatsoever, you're out there to get some exercise, get that cardio in, and then instantly erase whatever good you just did for your body by drinking beer after. But like I'll always say, like, if I make I'll be doing like crazy hustle plays, and my team will love it, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're a psychopath." I'm like, "Hey, I may not be the most talented out there, but I will not be outworked ever. I will not be out
Right.
hustled." So,
Yes. Well, that brings up another topic that I always have thought that I have a good level of is work ethic.
mm-hmm.
Especially with like right now, I'm a line cook. If you've listened to the show, you definitely know that by now. I've changed jobs since the beginning of the show, but it's the same game. No matter where you're at, it's the same thing. You have to be on your stuff. You have to do it correctly. Do it mostly the same every time. You have to know what you're doing. I have always been adamant about making sure that what I'm doing is as close to perfect as possible. And that's why I've always made good friends with my trainer because they're obviously they're the example to set. And I always want to keep trying to match that example as much as possible. But that does not help you learn to be a leader at all. That makes you learn how to be the best follower possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
That was a good conversation. I think we
I
killed some
thought so
time.
too.
Um,
Let's
yeah. What are you
go
drinking?
to
I'll go
yeah.
first because I hear a crying dog and I need to go check on that briefly.
All right, cool.
I finished my last Sippin' Pretty.
Nice.
That
Oh,
was
that's
from
Chicago, right?
yeah. Whose episode was that? That was Dr. Ray, I think, had Sippin'
Oh,
Pretties.
wow. Oh, okay.
So nursed that six pack a little, but
Maybe a little bit.
but
We recorded that one in December.
no way.
I
Has it
think it
been
was
that
last year.
long?
I think it was last year for sure. But hey, I'm glad you
Oh,
still enjoyed
there's
it.
no date on the can. Otherwise, we could catch me in 4K. I did it. Okay, and if you've been listening since the beginning, you know that that is a huge achievement for me because I'm not a big sour guy. But I've gotten better. I've gotten to appreciate it, and I think the Sippin' Pretty has really helped because it's so delicious.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I've always been down for a sour. Um, Currently, I am drinking a Blake's Hard Cider, the Peach Party. It's peach and blackberry. It's tall boy, so I'll probably need a break at some point to take a Waz. But I mean, that'll be then. So, uh, uh, we should probably talk about the show that we just released this earlier this month
Yes. So,
uh, with Weekend Run Club.
oh yeah, that
We
was
hope you enjoyed our final fully audio episode.
yes.
But we hope that you enjoy seeing our faces enough to keep coming back because that's what you'll be seeing from now on. And we'll miss the simplicity, I think.
Yeah, I think the time period in between recording and releasing, I think, is when we're gonna miss it the most. Uh,
Probably. But I think you guys are probably going to see us screw up a little bit more because
oh
it's a
yeah,
lot harder to edit video as hard as you can edit audio.
yeah,
Because when I edited our audio, I was like, okay, there's an here, there's an here. Oh, he said the same thing back to back here. I'm gonna take one
yeah.
of those out. And
I think yeah.
sometimes we're too messed up on what we've been drinking. And there's been times, even in the first episode, I remember being like, okay, we're taking out this 5 minutes here and then we're going to put this one spot in front of the spot before, and now it's going to make more sense.
Yeah,
And it works. It's just not great to have to do that.
yeah,
And now you guys will probably enjoy it a little more because our silliness will be all up in there.
yeah. And that's not to say that we won't be able to do that because I'm sure we will actually have to cut stuff just to make sure we fit our times. But
Of course. Yeah, yeah.
and I think it's a lot. I don't know. I think it'll be fine. Everyone seems to be doing the video thing, so we'll make it
Yeah.
work. It'll just take a little bit of getting used to. So, pardon our dust as we adjust in the next next few episodes here at the start of season 3. So
Hmm. But we will get there, and I hope you enjoyed my camera. But um,
yeah, new camera for
yeah,
DOS.
new camera, the Logie or the Logie, probably not Logie, but
Yeah, I my camera is something I bought off of Amazon when COVID started. When I was a TA, I we went to all the online classes and I had to like give a lecture, and I decided that it'd be probably better for my students to see what I looked like and see a face
probably.
as opposed to
Yeah,
just a talking icon.
yeah. I remember I took a yoga class during COVID, and we didn't have to have our cameras on ever. And
I'm willing to bet not one yoga move was performed.
not none. There
Oh, okay, okay.
most of the time though I was asleep on the Zoom, and
Yep,
I
wake
know.
up, log in.
Yep. The only reason I feel comfortable saying that is because I know there's 100 million people out there that did the same thing. Not
Also,
necessarily in their
it was
yoga class.
one credit, like
Exactly.
gen
It was,
ed.
yeah. It was to fill my elective requirements, and I'd done yoga before, and it was a music yoga class, which meant like one time the professor was like, I'm not going to be there today, but I want you to go on a mindful walk with your music. And I was just like, okay, that's not an assignment. That's what I do almost every day because it's COVID and there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
But sure, I'll do that. And then she was like, write a short blog post if you feel like it. No, don't feel
No, I
like
don't
it.
feel like
So
that. All right, I do have to go get another beer because I finished my sipping pretty.
cool. We will be right back.
We'll be
Johnny's
right back.
gonna get another burr.
Welcome back to 60 Minutes with the Boys.
We back.
I got another beer. This one is definitely old.
Yeah.
This is from Huss Brewing Company out of Arizona. I don't remember where. Let me see if it says right here somewhere. Tempe, Arizona.
Ah, that's one of like 3 places I've actually heard of in Arizona.
I
Phoenix.
believe it's one of the 3. There's like, so have you ever been to Arizona? Yeah, right. You went to the D-backs game.
Yes, yeah. And we stayed a couple nights at a timeshare there. It was gorgeous. We went to Ralph's. If you're from Arizona, shout out to Ralph's. It's literally Kroger, but larger. But
Yeah, but so if you haven't been to Arizona, there's like Phoenix and the greater Phoenix metropolitan area. That includes towns like Mesa and Tempe and
Tuscan, whatever it is.
Tucson.
Tucson,
No,
that's
Tucson's different. Tucson's up north.
is it? Okay. Not Tucson.
Sorry, no, Tucson is south. I was thinking of Sedona, which is north.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so Phoenix is like the Phoenix area. What do they call it? They call it like the valley. There's like the river valley that runs through, like the river that runs through. I want
All
to say
right.
it's the Gila River. Probably pronouncing it wrong. It might be Gila.
It's all
Unknown.
right. We're from the Midwest.
Yeah, I went to
You tell me
Phoenix once,
how to say Ypsilanti correctly. How about that?
or any town in Wisconsin. A
Yeah.
Carmawalk.
What?
What's my favorite? I don't know, but anyways,
Baraboo, Wisconsin.
Baraboo's good. Yeah, this is well. Anyway, back to what I was doing. This is a beer that has been in my fridge since last year's beer advent calendar.
Oh,
This is number
frick.
24.
Oh.
Hold on, is it getting overexposed?
Yep.
Let me see.
Angle it. Angle it. There it is. I see 24 now.
24.
It's a white top with a 24, but I got it.
Yeah, it's a 24. We'll see if it's skunked. It's canned on 11/8/23.
Okay.
So almost a
Huh.
year, not quite. We'll see. This is Brown Cow. It is an imperial chocolate milk stout. I'm probably not
I,
gonna like it,
I was gonna say I'm worried for you because it might be skunked and you might not like it regardless.
but if that's true, then I'll just my fridge is right there. You can see my stickers if you're
Yeah.
watching on the video.
Hey,
Let me see if
I
I can.
got a beer fridge finally.
Hey, welcome to the club.
It's my brother's old dorm mini fridge. It had like the stickers on it that spelled out Ryan. That's my brother's name. So I was like, oh, I'll just scrape those off. And it took a really long time just to get the R off. So I'm hereby naming the fridge Yan, because that's the three letters that are still on it. So I gotta go see Yan a
Go
little
see
later.
Yan. Nice. I don't know about this one, guys.
Yeah.
It might be past its prime. I mean, I can
I
like
mean, it is
taste.
definitely past the prime if it was last year's advent calendar.
Yeah, we're looking at about 9 months on being in this can. Usually 6 months is when you should probably consider throwing out anything old, but
Yeah. Is it not bad enough to throw out? Don't drink it if you're not going to enjoy it. That's what I always say.
I need to drink at least like 3 ounces of this. Then I'll probably drink a lot of water and go get something else.
Sounds good.
For it's not that the beer itself is bad, because I'm sure this is a good beer when it's fresh, but I am a person who is not a fan of stouts typically.
Hmm.
It takes a lot of outside influence for me to drink stouts and enjoy them. Particularly, it needs to be cold outside, and usually, if it's like the fourth thing I've drank that night, I'm also not in a coffee mood. Like, my coffee habits go in and out, and I have not been in a coffee mood for a while. And this is
What's your drink when you go to Starbucks?
so if I'm in a coffee mood, I go for the cold brew with the chocolate cream foam on top.
Oh yes, yes, the cold foam. Yeah,
The
yeah,
cold
yeah,
foam is a life is it's a life changer, to be honest.
yeah.
If you're a coffee if you're a coffee person, I have
Hmm.
found that I really like espresso. It tastes delicious,
I
but
agree.
it wreaks havoc on me.
Yep, yep. So okay, you saying that makes me have to say this. So my drink for a long time at Starbucks was the God. I always have to take a minute to say this because the name is unnecessarily long. The shaken espresso brown sugar oat milk drink.
That is delicious.
It's
It's
so
so
good.
good.
I will literally have to use the bathroom 4 times within the next hour of finishing it. It's like nothing's happening in there. I'll leave it as the I'll try.
Oh my
My
gosh.
it forces my brain to send my body the signal that says you have to go, and my body's saying ain't nothing in there, and but
No, I mean for me it's I'm not going to get graphic cuz I was about to get graphic.
okay.
It's not good.
I
I'm
hope what
I'm
I said
effectively
wasn't
out
too
of
graphic.
commission for the rest of the day. I'm effectively yours wasn't graphic. What I was about
Okay,
to say was going to be graphic. So
okay,
that's why I filtered and said no, let's not do that.
all right.
Um, yeah, no. If I drink espresso, I'm out of commission for the rest of the day.
Wow.
And this is actually kind of funny. There's a few other coffee chains around out west here. One of them is Scooters, which is really fun.
Scooters. Why
But
is it scooters? Why is it Starbucks? Never mind. Go
yeah,
ahead. Continue.
but so they are most known for their espresso and their like espresso drinks. A latte is espresso and milk. I thought it was coffee and milk,
So did I.
regular coffee. Maybe it is, but at
Sure, that's not
Scooters,
a,
it's espresso.
why did I think that was a cappuccino?
I don't know what a cappuccino is, to be honest. And at this point, I'm too afraid to
There's
ask.
there's a chart somewhere, but we don't. Anyway, continue with your story.
So we pull up there for the first time, and I'm looking at the menu, and I get so overwhelmed at coffee places because there's so many things, and I don't know what any of them are.
I always pick what's in the picture.
Yeah.
Like
Well, so they're like,
I'm not that picky.
try our lattes. I'm like, a latte, that's coffee and milk. Perfect. I love coffee and I love milk and I love them together. So I ordered a latte and it was delicious. I was like, wow, that was really great. I can't wait to order that the next time I go there. And then I was in the bathroom all day.
Wow.
And I was like, what's wrong? And then I like asked Janelle, I'm like, Janelle, what's a latte? Is it not coffee and milk? She's like, no, it's espresso and milk. I'm like, why'd you let me order that? Why'd you let me order that?
What's the thing that's in coffee and milk then?
Maybe,
Maybe that is a cappuccino. I don't know why I keep asking you because you're
I
the one
clearly
saying.
don't know. I clearly don't know.
Let me ask you all the questions you couldn't possibly know.
Yeah, but
based on the information you've just given.
No, it's weird because like I don't like hot drinks. Even in the winter, I don't like hot drinks. There's something
I was
weird.
like that for a little while.
There's something weird with my mouth. I like burn my mouth too often or something. It's with really hot foods too. That like Janelle will make fun of me because she'll be like, "It's not even that hot," but I'll be like, "Oh, I'm burning my mouth." And it's not spicy. I love spicy. I can do a lot of spicy.
Yeah, burning my mouth is probably a top 10 worst things that could happen to me throughout a normal day. Normal things to happen to you. I should like obviously a freak accident is gonna be
obviously.
Like, oh, I broke my leg, and guess what else? I burned my tongue.
Yeah, one of those is obviously worse. But like, you know when you like burn the taste buds, and then that little section of your tongue is just out of commission for like a week. Yep. Oh, it's the worst.
Hate that. No.
Okay, I've come to a conclusion on this.
Okay.
I don't think it's skunked. So kudos to Huss Brewing Company. It is shelf stable for 9 months, but
it's not for you.
Not for me. Not for me. And I mean, part of the advent calendar idea was to get me to drink beers that I wouldn't normally drink, like a stout. I need to drink more stouts so that I begin to like them. Today is not that day. I mean,
well, honestly, so with the Weekend Run Club episode, if you listened, then you heard Johnny's progress with sours for sure. Sours have been.
Listened just now, you've heard my progress with sours.
That too, yeah. So yeah, I'll take the victory on that one. With stouts, I do think it takes a lot longer. There's so much weird stuff that people try to cram into stouts, so I think it's harder to get a good grasp and say like, oh, it doesn't matter what stout it is, I'm going to drink that.
Yeah. I mean, and this one is one that is more my alley. It's chocolate milk. And it does taste like a chocolate milk beer. It tastes, I taste all of those things. It is very well executed for what it is trying to be and what it is. The issue is that it is the middle of August.
Right.
And I'm drinking a beer that's designed for Christmas, New Year's. There's snow on the ground.
Right.
So, user error. User error for sure on this one. I'm not afraid to admit it, but yeah.
What can you do?
I got Labatt Blues. I'll probably go grab one of those just because that's also an old case that I need to finish. I got like 3 left.
Yeah.
Kind of a comfort beer for me.
Yeah.
If you listen to my updated episode in season 2, you would know that.
Yes. You should know that, actually. You should probably know that.
You should really know about me.
Yep. You used to know a lot about both of us, but if you don't, that's still Johnny Shweegs.
And he's still your boss with the Sauce Nathan Doss.
Yeah. But
Saucy Dossy.
Oh no, I don't like that one.
Watched any good like TV or movies?
Okay, yes. So it's from 2001. But it's
Epic.
2001 HBO, so when it was still cable. It's called 6 Feet Under. It has the actor from Dexter in it, like the main character, Dexter.
Yeah.
So he's one of the sons that owns this funeral home called Fisher and Sons. And the show is based around this family that owns the funeral home. And yeah, strange is the only word. They, they, of course, like any show, they get into mischief and things. And but the premise of the story is their dad, the owner of the funeral home, gets into a car accident in their hearse that they had just bought and dies, and he's like haunting them for the rest of the show.
Oh, interesting. That's not the direction I thought I was going to go.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. um and then so the episode structure is similar to like House or Special Victims Unit, Law and Order, or any Law and Order, I should say, where like the person dies at the in the
In like the opening scene.
first season, yeah, and then like the song plays, and then the rest of the show happens. But they're pretty good about meshing together the storyline with the person that's being killed, because like the person that died is generally not the most important thing in the episode.
Right.
I've been watching House also, which is kind of the same structure, but the person that
it's the
gets
same as all those dramas, right? It's all the same
It is.
structure.
Yeah. But in House, the person that gets sick at the beginning is usually the main focus throughout the whole show.
Mhm.
In this, it's definitely their lives progressing. That's the main focus.
Right. It's basically like any crime show.
A little bit.
Because you look at like you watch Criminal Minds.
No, not really. My parents did for a little bit,
Yeah.
but I know kind of how it goes. Like,
Yeah, I mean it's or you ever watch what was it? Bones?
no, but
Bones
like,
is a good one. Bones is a good one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I like it a lot. It's silly at the same time that it is serious, because I mean it's a funeral home.
Yeah.
You can't have it be sad the whole time.
Yeah.
And then one of the other brother that isn't Dexter, he has this girlfriend that had a book written about her when she was a kid, because her parents are psychologists,
Oh.
and she's insane, but her brother is more insane. And it's a lot. We're in the middle of season 2 out of 6.
Nice.
And the problem I'm running into is that you kind of hate all of them at the same time as being interested, because I'm just like, you guys are all awful people.
It's like Always Sunny, right?
Sort of. It's not that funny
Got it.
about about how they're being horrible people.
Right.
Like,
I mean, because Always
like-
Sunny, it's like they're terrible people and it's funny.
yeah.
Because they're doing funny things and sometimes bad things happen to them and it's like poetic justice. But
Right,
also it's
right.
just they kind of address the fact that they're terrible people as well.
Exactly.
It's not like
it's
they're
almost as if they know that
Yeah.
what they're doing is stupid and horrible.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
people don't really seem to know
Got
that
it. Okay.
some of the stuff that they're doing is like just fucked up.
Mhm.
But I don't want to ruin it because it's on Netflix right now, and I feel like people probably will watch it.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, it's long. They're hour
Hour
episodes.
episodes.
Yeah, and it's tough at first. I think like it's tough to really get into, but eventually you will latch on to some of the characters. But I do like that there's an ebb and flow of who you like at certain points in the show.
it.
That's kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Yeah, that's fun. Do you ever do Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul?
Yes, I love those.
Oh,
Love
they're
them.
So good. So good.
That's a different type
It's different.
of drama.
No,
Sure,
that's not comedy. That's like pure drama, I think.
there's some funny parts. Like
Well, yeah, but it can be funny without being a comedy.
that's true. The funniest thing that I remember from Breaking Bad is in the first episode. they're out in the desert for the first time, and Jesse's like on top of one of the like little hills in the desert,
Yeah.
and he's like, "There's like a cow house over there, but I think we're good." And Walt looks at him like, "Cow house?" And he's like, "Yeah, you know where the cows live over there." And I'm just like, "You're so stupid, dude."
Me and Janelle quote that all the time.
You
Literally all the time. Well, if you've ever driven through Wyoming,
Once,
there's
I
certain
think.
stretches of like I-80 in
Yeah.
Wyoming where it's like there's nothing but cow houses.
Okay.
So
But yeah, no, I love Cow House. That's my
it's
favorite thing.
yeah, it's so funny. But yeah, I mean that doesn't make it a comedy.
No, not at all. Not at all. But Jesse is the closest to comic relief that I think that show
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah, it's tough because
And
it's
Jesse's
like
friends, like
I think
Badger.
Jesse's Friends is more comic relief. But
Yeah.
even Jesse's Friends, like the world building is so good in those shows that everyone has literally any recurring character has an arc. Like if they come back a
Yep.
second time, there's a reason for it, and there's some sort of development that happens.
Yep.
Um,
Like Skinny P comes back in like what, season 3 after
Yeah.
being mentioned twice in season 1 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
just everyone.
Yeah. I gotta ask, what's your opinion on Skylar? Because I've heard differing opinions. Most people hate her,
Yeah,
but
well, the thing is, it's different because like at this and if you have never seen Breaking Bad and you intend to, you're probably just going to want to skip over this. This TV series is over 10 years old. There's no such thing as spoilers anymore. But we're going to be talking about plot points. So there'll be a marking somewhere, just skip forward.
Yep.
If you want to watch and you haven't. The thing about Skylar is at the beginning of the show, she's very against Walter White. And Walter White is still very much the protagonist.
right.
And she's very against Walter the entire show. But the problem is, when he shifts to Heisenberg and makes that character transition, then he becomes the bad guy, basically. And at that point, Skylar becomes the good guy. And Skylar is just trying to protect herself and her family.
Right.
And a lot of people, because her character stays more or less even keeled.
For the most part,
Well,
I
I
think
mean,
once she finds out about what he's been doing, then she hits another switch.
Well, yeah,
where
but I mean, you
it's
got
like,
to you got to put
dude,
yourself in her shoes.
That's the thing,
right?
yes,
Because
exactly.
they were already a dysfunctional relationship. They already
Yeah.
kind of seemed like a couple that probably should not be together. And especially when you
True.
get those little nuggets about how they formed, it's all the more suspect.
Yeah.
And it's just it adds to the effect of yeah, she probably shouldn't be in that situation to begin with, but she's in it, so she's gonna do what she needs to do to protect herself and her family,
Mhm.
her children, because at this point Heisenberg is no family man.
Not really. No.
No, I mean
He really
that's what
tries.
That's what he says, but
Well, and tries is a strong word because like how he treats their son is so strange to me. Like when he's teaching him to drive, and he's like, "Oh, you're not supposed to use both feet."
yeah,
I'm like, "Bro, he has cerebral palsy.
yeah,
What do you want him to do? Be happy he can drive
yeah,
at all?"
yeah, for real. I don't know. That's a really good show.
Yeah,
I love
we shouldn't
Breaking Bad.
stay on. Let's go to Better Call Saul though, because that's such a different show.
Oh, it's so different. Because I remember it took me 2 tries to get into it
I think I might have had the same issue.
because it's a very at the beginning. It's very. If you had just finished Breaking Bad, and then you go to Better Call Saul, the tone and
slow.
tempo shift is so drastic. Because at that point in Breaking Bad, it's constant action. Things are constantly happening. Dominoes are going all over the place by the end of the show.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
And you
the last episode.
yeah. But then you get to Better Call Saul, And now, okay, we're what, 3 or 4 years back in the past.
I think even further than that, like decades before,
Is it
maybe.
really that? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, the first episode, right? When you're getting Jimmy's background.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
When it's just Jimmy and Chuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Chuck being Jimmy's brother, Jimmy being Saul.
Jimmy,
Like,
who becomes Saul. Yeah, but
yeah.
it's. I guess it's. I don't know. You're in the past. It's purely character development. It's none of the action yet. Everything
Mhm.
is setting the stage. But I do think that once the action starts in Better Call Saul, it's a better show. I think it's better.
I think it's more. Obviously, it's more exciting. The action is not enticing without the buildup. That's true to Breaking Bad also.
I
It's
think it's
just
less. I think Breaking Bad, you could probably start about halfway through, pick up the pieces, and it would still be a really good show. I don't think you
oh,
get that with Better Call Saul. I think you
no,
really, to fully appreciate everything that happens, you really need to watch it all unfold.
right,
Because the world building is so carefully done and so meticulous and detail oriented.
right.
I don't know. I'm a nerd for that kind of thing, so it scratches that itch in my brain
That's true.
so
Yeah,
that when everything actually happens, it's like you start to see like flakes of the past, and you can literally see like the butterfly effect of how everything happened. And Better Call Saul just ended a couple years ago, so I don't want to. I mean, obviously, you know where it ends. It ends with Breaking Bad starting. Well, I guess
there's some overlap,
there is some
but
overlap at the end, but
yeah, I'll just say I love Kim.
Kim is
My favorite character.
in
She's
the
just
whole
so
universe.
even
I
keel.
think Kim is like the only one who's pretty much a protagonist always.
Yeah,
She really
and
represents what I mean. But even that, she's not a pure. She's not spotless, right? Even
sure,
Kim has her faults, and I think that's what makes her such a good character.
yep. Well, and the point of both shows is to show how much moral ambiguity the world can actually have, and it's put into perspective in one specific episode that I'm not going to talk about that much, but it involves when Kim and Saul are in their apartment and Hamlin, what's the first name?
Howard,
Howard Hamlin shows up.
yes, and
That
that's all we will
whole
say.
yes, that if you've seen it, you absolutely know what
You
I'm
know it.
talking
You
about.
know exactly what we're talking about.
And if you haven't seen it, then
Watch the show.
continue watching.
Yeah. Ugh.
But yeah, that's the perfect scene to encapsulate the moral ambiguity of the
Mm-hmm.
whole universe that
Mm-hmm.
is put in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all right, that's pretty much the end of our 60 minutes with the boys.
It is. We
That was
didn't
good.
cover anything. What's that?
I thought that was pretty good. I mean, we covered.
We covered baseball and we covered TV shows that we really like. So
Yeah. Well, when we talked about a little behind the scenes stuff, I think that was good for a first
we
try.
did, and we still did some beer too.
And we did some
Uh,
beer.
should we end with like a tiny bit of music? I know we don't really have any time, but I mean,
Yeah, briefly. I've really been listening to a lot of Hot Mulligan and a lot of the Home Team.
I've been doing Hot Mulligan's lo-fi every morning lately.
That's a good.
Uh,
Oh, who's the?
I can't remember. I'll look right now.
Yes, look it up. Shout out that lo-fi artist. It's like Gravity something.
Something like that. Come on, Spotify, give me the thing. Yep, Less Gravity. That's the. Uh, yeah, they did an EP. It's only 6 songs, only 15 minutes, but it's a perfect thing for me to wake up to because I know the songs and it's not screaming at me
Yeah,
like Hot Mulligan is.
yeah.
And I don't love lo-fi in general anymore. I liked it a lot for a really long time. It was screwing up my algorithm on Spotify though, so I stopped listening to it.
Yeah, but yeah, that's our show. 60 minutes with the Boyz, or we'll come up with a better title maybe at some point. We'll see. Um, if you liked it, if you like us, if you like beer, you like music, follow along. On the socials, we're most active on Instagram at BYOBeats_podcast. If you have a suggestion for something you'd like us to discuss on this show, or an artist to interview, song to listen to, beer to try, all of that good stuff, you want to get in touch with us directly, best way to do that is email or DM on Instagram. We answer that too. But email is going to be byobeats.business@gmail.com. We got video now. Woohoo!
Yes. Hello again.
Hello.
And also goodbye. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's all that good stuff. And did I miss anything? Website. Check out our website.
yeah, that was the one I was thinking you might forget. But
I forgot the URL, but it's on our Instagram.
BYOBeatsPodcast.com ish.
.com.
Yep.
Yeah, no. It'll be on our Instagram. It'll be in our link tree and all of that. So
Yeah.
we'll remember it next time. But yeah, sign us off.
For us two here at BYO Beats, this is your Doss with the sauce. Nope. That's not it at all. This is your boss with the sauce. Nathan Doss signing off for myself and Johnny Shweegs. And remember, musicians are people too, especially with more beer.